Let's be real. When you hear the word mining, you probably picture digging for gold or drilling for oil, right? But what if I told you the next great resource hunt isn't for dead matter at all, but for life itself? Yeah, we're about to dive into this incredible, invisible world that might just hold the keys to our future. So to start, we're going to have to completely rethink what mining even means in the 21st century. This is a huge shift in how we search for value on this planet.
For centuries, mining meant extraction, pulling rocks, metals, and fuels out of the ground. But now, we are pivoting. Hard. The new hunt is for living capability. We're not looking for stuff that's dead. We're looking for what life can do.
So what exactly do I mean by living capability? Well, think of it like this. It's an organized search. We're not just randomly digging around, we are systematically looking for tiny microbes that can help us do amazing things, like grow our food more efficiently, clean up our worst pollution, or even improve our own health. It's really about tapping into nature's own problem-solving genius. Okay, so now that we've redefined the mission, let's talk about the scale of this new frontier. And I'm telling you, it is absolutely mind-boggling. We are just beginning to explore a world that is vast, incredibly powerful, and almost entirely unknown to us. Just take a look at this number, 1 trillion. That is the estimated number of microbial species right here on Earth. It's a number so big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around it. But that's the treasure chest we're just starting to peek into. And here's the wildest part. We know almost none of them. The vast, overwhelming majority of all this microscopic life is a total mystery to science. Every single handful of dirt, every drop of ocean water, it's like an entire universe of undiscovered potential. And this chart, wow, it really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? That tiny sliver, just 1%, that's everything we've managed to identify so far. The other 99%? That's the undiscovered territory. That's the frontier. So where are all these undiscovered species hiding? Well, the short answer is pretty much everywhere. In the soil right under your feet, on the plants in your garden, even inside our own bodies. They thrive in the most extreme places you can possibly imagine, from boiling hot springs to frozen glaciers. And every single one of those environments has pushed them to evolve unique skills we might be able to use. Now, this isn't just some cool academic exercise. This search has profound, super practical implications for all of us. Let's dig into how all this incredible diversity can actually help us solve some of the biggest challenges we face, from planetary health to our own well-being. This right here gets to the absolute heart of the mission. We are searching for function. We're looking for microbes that can do specific jobs. Think microbes that can unlock nutrients in the soil so our crops can grow better, or bacteria that can literally eat oil spills and break down toxic waste, or even microbes that can help boost our own immune systems. It's a targeted hunt for biological solutions to very human problems. And here's the crucial point. This represents a totally different way of thinking. Instead of just managing the messy consequences of our problems, cleaning up a toxic spill after it happens, we could use microbes to tackle issues at their root, maybe even preventing the damage from happening in the first place. So, if this living resource is so incredibly valuable, we can't just leave its discovery up to chance. And that brings us to a really critical idea. We need to start treating this search as a strategic national priority, kind of like building roads or power grids. We need an infrastructure for biology. So how would that even work? Well, it starts by building a kind of living library. As you can see here, it's a pretty logical 4-step process. You go out and systematically sample all these diverse environments. Then you isolate the microbes and sequence their DNA. After that, you figure out what they can actually do. That's characterizing their function. And then, most critically, you preserve them in what are called microbial banks for future research and use. These microbial banks and observatories would become vital national assets. For decades, countries have built seed banks to protect crop diversity and ensure food security. This is the exact same idea, but on a whole new level. It's about building our biological infrastructure to secure our future in medicine, agriculture, and industry. And we need to get on this fast. We're truly in a race against time. Pollution, climate change, habitat loss, all of these things are destroying these microbial communities. Every ecosystem that vanishes could be taking with it the key to the next great antibiotic, or a microbe that can break down plastics. We are at risk of losing this entire library before we've even had a chance to read the first page. But as we embark on this new frontier, history is giving us a really important warning. We absolutely have to approach this resource rush with a whole lot more wisdom than we've shown in the past.
The old resource rushes, they were all about extraction and depletion. We took what we wanted and we often left a ton of damage behind. This new era, it demands a completely different mindset, one that's focused on creating value from knowledge, not just from raw materials. It's about stewardship, not plunder.
Let's just pause on this for a second because this is the core idea. We're not dealing with rocks or oil here. We're dealing with a complex, interconnected living system. And that means that questions about safety, about ethics, about responsible use, they have to be front and center from day one.
So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, it suggests that some of our greatest, most powerful assets in the coming century might be completely invisible to the naked eye.
Ultimately, our future prosperity could really depend on making this shift. The nations and societies that figure out how to discover, protect, and partner with these living systems, they might just be the ones that thrive in a world that's under more and more strain. It's all about building economies that are regenerative by their very design.
So, that leaves us with this final, really important question to chew on. What kind of world could we build if we finally start treating microbial life as the vital, living resource it is? Imagine solving our biggest problems by partnering with the oldest, wisest, and most resilient forms of life on our planet. The hunt for that future? Well, it's just getting started.